I became the property manager. They were supervised by Dan Ruffolo and done by a contractor. And in 1976, asbestos was already regulated. So we knew there was no asbestos beyond any legal limit in those false ceilings because we knew when they were built, and Dan Ruffolo, who is a physicist and a Fulbright scholar, supervised that.
And what year did they stop putting lead in paint? If you know so much about asbestos.
What does one have to do?
What?
Because we had both hazards on the premises. I'm saying,
No,
what year?
I get it.
What year?
Do you know when lead paint stopped being used?
No, I don't.
Okay. We're the manufacturer.
Okay. All right, when was Steve Franke terminated from the management of the premises?
I don't recall the exact date it was.
And why was he terminated?
That's a compound question, so let me answer the first question first. Best of my recollection, he was terminated September or October of 2008, somewhere in that time frame, as a result of you making false accusations against them and giving them to the owner in writing.
Isn't that about the time I was terminated from your brokerage?
Is that relevant?
Yes, because I'm
Well,
establishing
no.
retaliatory for the termination.
The question is just simply, and I would think you would obviously know that answer to that question, Ms. Quiggle, is when you were disassociated.
Yeah,
from
fine,
Plaid
but
Realty.
my termination correlates with the termination of Mr. Franke.
You don't need to argue with me.
All right, I'm
find her here.
I believe you were terminated first, and then in retaliation against him, you gave all those false accusations to the owner.
Well, I have a record, and I believe he was terminated first, and then I was terminated. But I can prove that up. All right. So was Mr. Forbes remunerated for the process service?
Yes.
How much?
$60.
But you don't know whether he's a registered process server?
I already told you, I know that he is not.
Did you know you're not supposed to pay a process server unless they're registered?
Well, objection. That assumes facts, not in evidence.
All right, well. Okay, how many copies of your book are at DG Wells at this time that are signed by Mr. Forbes?
Wait a second. No, I'm probably not going to let you start doing that. I mean, we're so far afield. That's so unreasonable and not even reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. Typically, relevance isn't a legitimate objection at a deposition, but I...
All right, fine. Who signed Mr. Forbes?
Hold on. Do you have an estimate about how much longer you're going to be here?
He just keeps hemming and hawing. I don't know. Tell him to speed it up.
Well,
I got a lot of questions.
Well, he's only trying to answer your questions.
Slowly as possible.
Ma'am, I'm just trying to get an estimate.
I can't give you a time estimate if I can't control how quickly he answers the questions.
Well, you know what material you need to go through.
Uh-huh.
So, are you not... You don't have to. I'm just asking as a courtesy to just find out how much, because I'm going to see whether I need to take a break. We've been going...
Okay.
You want to finish one more line of questioning, and then we'll take a quick break?
All right. Alluded to the a retaliatory eviction. Is this eviction retaliatory?
No.
What's a retaliatory eviction?
That's an improper question.
He has a PhD in real estate law. I can ask what his knowledge of that is.
What is your understanding of the definition of retaliatory eviction? Okay.
Yes.
If you can answer that, go right ahead.
I never studied that.
So what is the time frame within which a property manager or landlord cannot seek to cause a tenant to quit a premises after their complaint about a breach of the warranty?
Well, but he just told you he hasn't studied it. Why are you wasting time on this?
He needs to be competent in this. If he's a property manager, if the landlady says you can't renew, he has to say, I'm sorry, she's complained about the breach, and we're within 180 days of that, and you can't. He has to have that knowledge. He's a broker.
Maybe this will help you. I rely on legal counsel when I have those questions.
Did you have the question at all, or you just went forward?
Well, that may call for attorney-client privilege. I'd have to tell him not to answer that question.
So you do not have an understanding of what a retaliatory eviction is?
I'm going to decline to answer that question because it's a provocative question. You're just trying to irritate me.
Are you aware that it is illegal to diminish services to me due to my complaints about the warranty?
Objection, vague and ambiguous.
Are you aware of CC 1942.5?
Start over. Are you aware of?
CC Civil Code 1942.5, wherein it states, you may not legally diminish services to me in retaliation for my complaints of the warranty.
Are you aware of that statute?
Are you aware of the statute?
I'm sure I've read it, and I'm sure I have it in my computer.
Is not responding to email a diminishment of services?
Not
Well,
from
hold
the
on.
email terrorist.
All right, fair enough. Go ahead.
How many times have I asked the same question and had no response from you?
Well,
Regarding the
that-
habitability.
Please ask the question again.
How many times have I asked you about the habitability of the premises, and how many times have you not answered?
I don't know that there is an answer to that question because your emails, as I've stated before, you send so many emails, it's impossible to even remember half of them.
Have I sent one email approximately per day since the end of the project? Would that be accurate?
I would say
when did the project end?
one email regarding what?
The habitability of the premises.
I would say no, not quite that many.
Okay, so not several times a day, but one every 2 days, one every 3 days approximately?
I would say maybe on the average every other day.
Why haven't you answered the question?
Because I was not to.
You can't do that. Quick, we're in litigation here.
I understand.
So, the fact that you're not going to be, well, okay.
All right.
Tell you what, if you're done with that level of questioning, I got to go to the bathroom.
All right, fine.
And let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.